we are doing a WrestleMania preview.
This preview will include our top 5 matches that we want to see the most. We're going to give a breakdown of why we want to see the match, and we're going to give predictions behind those matches.
I think it's time to show people maybe your number one match that you want to see. Because, it's don't bury the lead. We got to start at the top.
Dom, we don't ever bury the lead, so we're going to go right into the number one match. We'll start with me. So my number one match.
LA Knight versus AJ Styles in the number one spot.
I know, surprising maybe for some folks out there, but this is my match I'm looking forward to the most. From my perspective, I think LA Knight is the best babyface in the company.
Okay.
And I've liked everything he's done all year. AJ Styles has always been one of my favorites, and I think they did a great job setting this rivalry up. There's no title on the line, but for me, I think this has the potential to steal the show either Friday or Saturday or Sunday night. These two are both very good in the ring, and specifically AJ Styles. LA Knight's been, they really found something that they didn't expect. So he's come over a lot more holistically than, let's just say, for example, a lot of the other workers and wrestlers have been. I think Cody's been kind of a long-term plan. And so I think this will be the match of the night, whether it's on Saturday or Sunday.
I like that. And I had it on my board too.
Oh, wow.
At number 2. So we each think highly of this match. Yeah, this has been, with the possible, the Roman Cody thing, they've been building for a long time because it's a recycle of last year. It's sort of a continuation. But yeah, this is maybe the longest running organic storyline.
Yeah.
LA Knight stepped in for an injured AJ Styles to be John Cena's tag partner last year at a pay-per-view. And then when AJ Styles returned, he had this, real resentment for LA Knight. And this just kept building and building. They did a great job in that fatal 4-way title match of still bringing up the tension between these two. This is a match I want to see. I think these guys are going to wrestle tremendously. I want to watch this match, not simply watch, the last 60 seconds for the finish or a 3-minute edited thing that WWE throws on Twitter or YouTube or wherever they put it, nor just read about the result. I want to watch this match as well.
I think this is going to be another win for LA Knight, who stayed very hot after WrestleMania last year, where he was just sort of buried there on the roster. And I think that, LA Knight is going over AJ Styles. How about you, Dom?
I think I'd like to see LA Knight win this. I think they're very evenly matched. And I think LA Knight winning this, it might be it would be his most high level, most meaningful singles victory if he does it, right?
Right. All right, Dom. Well, that's our prediction for this match here with LA Knight. We both think LA Knight will go over. Let's maybe move on here. Let's take your number one match.
Okay. For the second consecutive year, the match I most want to watch at WrestleMania involves Sami Zayn.
Look at that.
There's a little bit of selfish nostalgia here for the two guys we most miss from SmackDown.
Right.
Are Gunther and Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
At least for me. You probably have them up there as well. But for me, I miss Gunther and I miss Sami Zayn more than any two people from SmackDown after they moved over to Raw.
Yeah, we only really watched SmackDown, and this is actually I left this off my top 5, even though I very much was like, this could easily be the best technical match.
I want to watch this match more than anything else. I want to watch Gunther and I want to watch Sami Zayn, and the fact that they might be the two best all-around workers in the company. Now that in the ring, definitely you could argue that Gunther now on the mic has elevated to where he's substantial enough. But as far as a match to watch, these might be the two best in-ring guys to watch.
This was your pick, so who do you think's going to win, Gunther or Sami Zayn?
I want Sami to win because I think it's important for him. But at the same time, I think Gunther has to win because there's so much more to do with him. Like, even though he's a record-setting intercontinental champion at this point, 660 days, by the time he gets to WrestleMania, it might, they wrestle Saturday, it might be 666. I think there's more to do with Gunther, and him losing one-on-one at WrestleMania, I don't think is the way for him to drop this belt.
I think it's going to be Gunther, but I would say if Sami Zayn won, I wouldn't be super shocked, which is a good sign for the way that it's been set up. Gunther has to lose it at some point, and I feel like he's probably right in the title picture once he loses it.
Maybe who's your number 2?
Yeah, let's keep it moving here so we can go on to my number 2.
Wow!
It's going to be the tag match, Roman Reigns and The Rock versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. I'm really looking forward to this one, and I'm going to be honest with you. I have tickets to WrestleMania on Saturday night, and I know The Rock is going to be there. I know this match will be on Saturday night. It'll be the main event. I actually considered putting it as my number 1, but ultimately, I kept it as my number 2. The Rock has just been great in the promos, and I just can't wait to see him. So it's really just me being a big fan of The Rock and just seeing what he's been doing recently with the promos. I don't know how. I'm very, very, very interested to see what he's like in the ring at this point.
Okay. I do not have this on my list for top 5. Understand totally, because I just watched AEW Revolution. Really, I bought it just to watch Sting's final match. So I understand the fact that, if you like a big star who's going to be featured on a pay-per-view, that, you want to watch that performance.
I think Roman Reigns and The Rock are going to go over because it's going to set up the bloodline rules for the next night.
Okay.
And then in addition to that, I think The Rock and Roman Reigns are going to get some babyface heat. The Northeast Corridor, and specifically Philadelphia, is a bit of a heel town.
Okay.
So where they cheer the heels and boo the faces. So we might see a little bit of that dynamic, especially with The Rock coming back. Who cares if he's supposed to be the heel? You're going to see The Rock. You're going to cheer him.
Now, the other thing you brought up here, I think Roman and The Rock win this match to set up bloodline rules the next day. And let me jump into it. I don't have this match on my board, but we agree on the prediction here. I've got Roman and Cody on my board at number 3 because in the aftermath of whatever happens with that tag match, I think I want to watch how this match unfolds. Even though it's a repeat of last year's WrestleMania, I want to watch this match. I want to see it unfold. Roman is always really good at pacing and playing to the crowd, the live crowd during his matches. So I want to watch this match. And I want to see what happens with or without bloodline rules. There's going to be some sort of interference probably. But even if there's not, even if they give us a one-on-one match, I'll give you my prediction. I think Cody wins it.
Yeah.
I think they have to switch the belt here, or they've kind of buried Cody. And I think a Roman loss at WrestleMania sets up Roman versus The Rock at a future pay-per-view.
Right.
Because since we're doing predictions, my prediction here is that somehow The Rock is involved in Roman not winning. Mm-hmm. And I think this sets up something farther. So I'm really fantasy booking this ahead. But I think that's what WWE is hoping for, that by doing this a double main event with stipulations for Saturday leading into Sunday, I think they want people to kind of use their imaginations here. And even if they don't, tough luck. I'm doing it.
I'll tell you
What say you? Why do you have it? This sounds terrible. All the way down at number 5.
Yeah, no, it is all the way down at number 5. I feel like it's a foregone conclusion that Cody's going to win. So there's no element of it being unpredictable at all. And then in addition to that, I feel like Cody's limping to the finish line here. Felt like the right time was last year for him to win it. And I'm glad he didn't win it, but I was like, maybe SummerSlam he'll win it. No, they waited another 12 months of Nepo baby Cody Rhodes talking about his dad. How long can I just hear him talk about Dusty this and Dusty that? So I feel, it's just a long time for me to really be that vested into it. Having said that, it's the main event of WrestleMania, so I still have to have it on my list, and it makes it. But I'm not particularly looking forward to it, and I think they probably have some stuff right now in place where hopefully Cody can carry it, but it's going to be really big shoes to fill once Roman drops it to Cody. I don't want to be too negative here. I do think it's pretty positive because if he wins it, even though anybody that wins it is going to have big shoes to fill, it feels like there's some storylines that they already have and arcs they're setting up with The Rock and Cody that he'll have people to wrestle, and they're already kind of putting the foundation for. Whereas last year, if he had won it, it's just going to be like, Cody's champ, now what? Oh, maybe we could kick it to my number 3.
Yeah, what do you have here as number 3 on John's list is Iyo Skye versus Bayley.
This is a goofy one for me to throw on so high.
Not at all. Go ahead. Why do you have it there?
Let me tell you something, Dom. Iyo Skye versus Bayley has the potential from the women's side to steal one of the nights. And I think we saw Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair do this on a Saturday last year, where they was like, well, this is the best match of WrestleMania. These two might be able to do it, and I'm saying that because Bayley has been great as a character, but she can go in the ring, and Io's pretty fresh. I think she's been doing a lot of pretty good work, and if she could just elevate to that next level, her and Bayley, if they could just kind of get there from the, Dave Meltzer 3-star to the Dave Meltzer 4 or 5-star, they have a chance to be like, hey, this is the best women's match of the night, and maybe the best match of the night. So it's on your list as well, number 4.
It is on because I want to watch this match. I just don't want to read the result or watch the last 60 seconds finish. I want to watch this match, and for something that you alluded to there, I want to see Iyo Skye as champion walk into a big pay-per-view, and this is the biggest of them all.
Right.
And wrestle like a champion in a one-on-one match. And I think Bayley is the perfect wrestler to bring that out of her. I also selfishly want to see Bayley wrestle in a one-on-one match. She is so good. Like you said, her character work is stellar, but she can also wrestle.
Yeah.
And I want to see her wrestle. And I do hope this winds up being a one-on-one match.
I think our prediction probably is the same. You kind of alluded to it. So I think Bayley is going to win the title. There could be some interference from Damage Control, but I don't see a lot of interference in WrestleMania matches. I don't think, or I hope not to see a lot of interference in WrestleMania matches.
I'm going to go a little weird here. Bear with me. I want Iyo to win it. I want there to be maybe not interference on the finish, but I want there to be something like maybe Damage Control attacks Bayley before the match. I'm torn. I want Iyo Skye, I think, to walk out of WrestleMania with the belt. I'd like her to win, and maybe this sets up Backlash in a steel cage. And Bayley takes the belt there in a cage where there's no interference at all. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. You are into these family feuds.
I love them.
Last year, your number 3 match was Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. So this year, Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso.
We got one more match left, Dom. How about who is your number 5?
I don't think there's as much shine on Rhea Becky as there was on Rhea Charlotte last year.
Mm-hmm.
But out of respect for the fact that Rhea Ripley has done so much this past year, I said during Crown Jewel, has anybody had a better 2023 than Rhea Ripley? And because Becky Lynch, I think, is that A-level foil for her,
Right.
I think this could be another great match. I